Welcome back, dear students. In lecture 4, we have discussed the direct shear test, its principles, procedures, merits and limitations, and its applications. The direct shear procedure is based on the Coulomb's concept. Another important shear test procedure is triaxial compression test or triaxial shear test. It is so called because the test soil samples are subjected to stresses in all the three directions, simulating the field conditions. The sample is subjected to an all-round pressure sigma 3 and sheared under the vertical axial stress sigma 1 till failure. The figure shows the general arrangement of triaxial test and details of triaxial cell. The triaxial cell comprises of a soil specimen mounted on a pedestal at the bottom of the cell. Porous stone plates and filter papers are provided at top and bottom of the sample. On the top of the sample is the top cap and the pressure ball and a loading arm to apply the shear load uniformly on the sample. The pedestal is provided with a connection to the pore water pressure measuring device. The soil sample is protected by a rubber membrane to avoid the direct contact with water in the cell. The base is also provided with a inlet for filling the water in the cell. The top of the cell has an air valve to release the air entrapped in the cell. Once the cell is prepared, it is mounted on the loading frame and a proving ring is connected on the top to the loading arm. The cell fluid, which is normally water, is filled into the cell till it is completely filling the cell and the air valve is closed. As defined, the initial pressure is applied to the cell fluid through pressure application unit and it is maintained constant throughout the test. A rate of displacement is selected based on the type of the test intended. The shear load is applied and the vertical displacement or the deformation of the sample is measured and the failure load is measured and the failure stress sigma 1 is calculated. Triaxial shear test is conducted both on the cohesive soils and cohesionless soils. As discussed earlier, depending upon the sample drainage conditions, the unconsolidated undrained test, that is UU test, a consolidated undrained test, that is CO test, and consolidated drained test, that is CD test, are all possible on cohesive soils in the triaxial test. Now let us see the preparation of cohesive samples for the triaxial test. A cylindrical specimen, generally having H by D ratio of 2, is used in the test. A de-aired porous disc is placed on the top of the pedestal in the triaxial test apparatus. A filter paper is kept over the porous stone plate. The specimen of the cohesive soil is then placed over the filter paper disc. The usual size of the specimen is 37.5 mm in diameter and 75 mm in height. A filter paper and porous stone plate are also placed on the top of the specimen. The sample is then enclosed in a rubber membrane. The membrane is sealed to the specimen with O-rings. Pressure is applied to the water filled in the cell by connecting it to the pressure application unit. As soon as the pressure acts on the specimen, it starts consolidating. The specimen is connected to a pore pressure measurement device during CU and CD tests. Now let us see how a unconsolidated undrained test or UU test is conducted in the triaxial cell. In this test, a specimen is subjected to cell pressure but not allowed to consolidate in the first stage. The drainage valve is kept closed during the test. However, the specimen can be connected to the pore water pressure measuring device if required. Shearing of the specimen is started just after the application of the cell pressure. The proving ring dial gauge is set to 0. The loading machine is then run at a selected speed. The proving ring records the force due to the upward thrust acting on the ram. The sample is sheared by applying the deviator stress by the loading machine. Upon completion of the test, the loading is shut off. Using the manual control, all the additional axial stress is removed. The cell pressure is then reduced to 0 and the cell is emptied. Now let us see how a consolidated undrained test or CU test is conducted in the triaxial test. In this test, the specimen is subjected to a cell pressure and is allowed to consolidate in the first stage. When the consolidation of the sample is complete, the specimen is ready for being sheared. This is the first stage. The drainage valve is then closed. The pore water pressure measurement device is attached to the specimen through the pressure connections. The proving ring dial gauge is set to 0. The loading machine is then run at the selected speed. The proving ring records the force due to the upward thrust acting on the arm. The sample is sheared by applying the deviator stress by the loading machine. Upon completion of the test, the loading is shut off. Using manual control, all the additional axial stress is removed. The cell pressure is then reduced to 0 and the cell is emptied. Now let us see how a consolidated drained test or CD test is conducted in the triaxial shear test. The procedure is very much similar to the consolidated undrained test. The first stage is similar, that is, once the sample is prepared, the cell pressure is applied and it is kept for sufficient time till the pore pressure is reduced to 0, that is, the soil sample gets consolidated. Then the specimen is sheared at such a slow rate that the pore pressure at any instant is 0 during the second stage or during the shearing stage. After the consolidation of the specimen in the first stage, the drainage valve is not closed. Thus, the pore pressure is 0 during both consolidation stage and shearing stage. As the permeability of coeduous soil is very low, it takes 4 to 5 days for the consolidated drained test to complete. The triaxial tests on the specimens of cohesion-less soils can be conducted using the procedure as described for the cohesive soils. But the preparation of the cohesion-less soil samples is difficult. As the samples of cohesion-less soils cannot stand of their own, and a special procedure is required for preparation of the soil samples. The slide shows the stresses acting on the soil sample during the initial stage, that is consolidation stage and shearing stage. It is noted here that when cell pressure sigma 3 is applied, the pressure sigma 3 also acts on the sample from the top. Additional stress sigma d, that is deviator stress, when applied to fail the sample in shear, it is obvious that sigma d plus sigma 3 together form the major principal stress at failure. Therefore, at failure, major principal stress is equal to sigma 1, that is sigma 3 plus sigma d. Thus, noting the combination of sigma 1 and sigma 3 at failure, a Morse circle can be drawn. When the triaxial test is conducted on 3 identical samples, we will be having 3 failure combinations of sigma 1 and sigma 3 and thus 3 Morse circles. The straight line tangent to these Morse circle is drawn and it is known as the strength envelope. From the strength envelope, we can measure the shear strength parameters C and phi. Thus, for drawing the failure envelopes, it is necessary to test at least 3 samples at 3 different cell pressures in the stress range of interest. Further, the failure envelope can be drawn either in terms of effective stresses or in terms of total stresses. Of course, the two envelopes will give different values of strength parameters C and phi. Now let us see the more envelopes for effective stresses. The failure envelope for normally consolidated clay in terms of effective stresses obtained from CU and CD tests. As the pore pressure U is measured, first the Morse circles for the 3 tests are drawn in terms of effective stresses corresponding to failure conditions. Effective major and minor stresses are calculated as if sigma 1 dash equal to sigma 1 minus u and sigma 3 dash equal to sigma 3 minus u. Then the best common tangent is drawn to the 3 circles. The common tangent is the failure envelope. As each circle represents a failure, there must be at least one point on it which gives the stresses satisfying the failure criterion. Obviously, the common tangent joins all such points of the three circles. Thus, the shear strength is tau equal to c dash plus sigma dash tan phi dash. The shear strength parameters are then known as effective shear strength parameters represented as c dash and phi dash. Similarly, the Morse failure envelopes in terms of total stresses can also be drawn. The failure envelopes are similar in shape to the Morse circles in terms of effective stresses, but the values of shear strength parameters are quite different. The angle of shearing resistance in terms of total stresses, that is phi u, is much smaller than the angle of shearing resistance for effective stresses, that is phi dash. The shear strength equation is thus tau equal to Cu plus sigma tan of phi u. The shear strength parameters are then known as the total shear strength parameters Cu and phi u. The slide shows the total strength envelope and effective strength envelopes for Cu test and CD test plotted on the same graph. The total shear strength parameters Cu and phi u and the effective shear strength parameters C dash and phi dash are shown. Thus, it may be noted that Cu and phi u are the total shear strength parameters obtained from UU test. C dash and phi dash are effective shear strength parameters obtained from CD test, and CCu and phi Cu are the shear strength parameters obtained from CU test or consolidated undrained test. Now let us see the advantages and limitations of triaxial shear test. The advantages are that it is most versatile method as the drainage conditions during test can be controlled and a variety of tests such as UU tests, CU tests and CD tests can be performed. The failure envelope develops along a weakest plane. It is not predetermined. Third one is the applied stress closely represents the in situ conditions. The limitations are tests on the smaller diameter samples estimate unrealistically high strength for the stiff clays. Soils containing gravel sized particles require large diameter samples. The samples of sand or cohesionless soils is difficult to prepare and test. And lastly, the consolidation and drainage of cohesive samples takes longer time as their permeability value is very slow. To conclude, we can recall that the triaxial shear test is the most versatile test by means of which the in situ stress conditions at the time of failure can be simulated in the laboratory. Hence, the strength parameters determined by these tests help in closely evaluating the field failure conditions. Thank you.